Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me Deepthi here with another video in order to help you feel good yourself and to keep you happy and healthy. Today's our focus is on yoga series which will be helpful for the prenatal, which is good for the pros and the beginners alike. This will be helping you to opening the hips and for flexibility. For women who are pregnant, I will insist you to invest more on props so that you will be able to modify and enhance the yoga poses according to your convenience. So for today's yoga workout, we require 2 blocks, a yoga strap, a pillow and a mat. So can we start today's session? Meet me on your mats. To begin, we will bring our hands to our heart. We will take one deep inhale and exhale. We begin with 3 ohms. Go ahead and close your eyes and soften your gaze at the floor down below. Take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose, and then again for 3 ohms. Inhale, 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 go ahead and lower your head down to the heart. Bring your hands to your knees. Lift your head up. Open your eyes. We will start with some shoulder rolls. Rolling the shoulders up as far as you can to the earlobes and rolling them back down by pressing the shoulders up away from the ears. And now we will switch directions. We will bring our shoulders forward, and from here we are interlacing our hands behind our back. We are gonna inhale, look up at the ceiling, and then exhale, bring the chin down to your chest and begin to take your head over to left 3 times. And switching the directions 3 times. Go ahead and bring back to the center. Now we are going to do some Sufi rolls. So what you wanna do is you are taking your right leg forward. You are gonna have your shin parallel with the outer edge of your mat, and then take your left knee and you are placing that in the center of your right foot. What this does is it opens and balances the chakras, the Muladhara chakra, the root chakra
and then also the first chakra, the sacral chakra, and that's the self-dwelling place. So the Muladhara chakra is good for stability and grounding, for family, for your foundation. And then the self-dwelling chakra, that sacral chakra, is really good for your creativity, freedom of expression, but also physically opens our hips and it massages the lower back as you rotate your spine. So we are placing our hands on our knees and then we are inhaling as we move forward and then exhale as you make your back round, and then inhale, you sweep forward, and exhales, you round the spine, and then one more, and then back to center, and move 3 times to the opposite direction. Then come to center and shift the weight over to that right hip. You are taking that left leg in front, and then we will go to the other side. So the left chin will be parallel with the outer edge of your mat. You are taking the right knee, place in the center of your foot, and then we will go to the other side. Remember your breath. Inhale as you sweep forward, and then we will go to the other direction. And then one more. Shift your weight over to your left hip, and you are bringing your legs all the way back around. Sit in a cross-legged position. From here, we are taking a block, if you have a block nearby, and then you are placing that between your knees. You need to squeeze the block between your knees and then place your hands slightly behind you. So you are gonna rock your hips forward and then back. Create some movement in the pelvic area. Go ahead and remove that block and put it aside, and we are coming into Bhumanasana, which means go to the Mother Earth pose, which I think is a really beautiful name for an asana or pose. Just go as wide as you can comfortably go without feeling a stretch in the ligaments behind the knee. If you feel like it's a little bit too tight behind the knees, then narrow your stance. You can pull up behind the knee and bring your feet in just a little bit more. Otherwise, go as far as you can comfortably go, and again you can maybe rock a little bit forward and back. And if you feel your lower back is rounded and if you are falling backwards, take a block, sit on that block. From here, we are taking our right hand, placing it in front, and taking our left hand and bend over to the side. So inhale here and then exhale. Reach for the pinky toe on this side. Bring your gaze to the ceiling. If you like, inhale, come back up to center, place your left hand in front, and then exhale over to the other side. Your gaze up to the ceiling. Inhale, back up to center, and exhale. Inhale, back up to center, and exhale. Try to keep your toes flexed back towards your head, and you are gonna do one more. Also, try to keep your hips rooted down into your mat. So, if it starts to pop up, press it right back down and inhale back up, and then exhale, come to the other side. Inhale up and then exhale, you coming back to center. Let's start to walk your hands forward. If you have 2 blocks, you can take both blocks and then rest your forearms on that blocks. Once you have taken a couple breaths here to deepen the stretch, then you can start to walk that blocks, keeping your palms flat against those blocks. Allow yourself to come forward. Try to keep your back flat and your head back, so you are not cranking your head too far up or too far down, which creates some neck strain. Go ahead and start to come all the way up. Move your blocks over to the side, and now we are lifting up behind the knees to draw the feet all the way back in. Again, hug the knees and you can rock from side to side. From here, the counter pose to this is upward facing plank. So we are gonna come into upward facing plank. You have your feet flexed back towards your head. You are gonna count 1, 2 hand spaces behind you. Fingertips are pointed straight forward. Palms are flat. Elbows are straight. Inhale here, then exhale. Point the toes and lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Inhale as you lift up even more. Then exhale, you can release all the way back down. We are going to cross the ankles, sit up, and we are rocking forward to come onto your knees. So now we are going to sit back on our heels, and then let's go ahead and face the front. So we are in center of our mats. Again, this time we are staying upright on our knees, and then you can extend your left leg out. We are coming into gate latch pose. You want the outer edge of your left foot to be parallel with the outer edge of your mat, and I am taking my right arm up and keeping it as straight as you can, and they were hinging at the side to really allow that hip to come out to the side, and you are reaching for the other side of the room, and inhale and exhale. Feel a stretch along the length of your ribs. You might feel the stretch in your groin or the outside of your leg. Inhale and exhale, and let's inhale to slowly come all the way back up. We are going to replace the right knee with the left, and then we are taking our right hand and bring it to the right leg. Extend your other arm up, and then exhale as you bend over to the side. Again, stretching your arm as straight as you can possibly make it. Bring your gaze to the ceiling. Inhale and exhale. One more breath. Inhale and exhale. Then inhale slowly come all the way back up. Then we can place our hands on our mat to bring our knees back to center, and we are coming into puppy pose. So we will be facing in front of our mat. Again, stay upright on your knees, and then you are walking your hands forward. This is a good alternative to downward facing dog. If for some reason that's not working for you, this also a good warm up. Go ahead and place your hands directly underneath your shoulders, tucking your toes under, and we are coming into our first downward facing dog. Keep your toes in place even if your heels are up. It's okay, but aim to bring them a little bit down towards your mat. They can rest on your mat. Great. And then you can take your feet. Make sure that the toes are flat on the mat as you alternate lifting the heels. So we are walking the dog. Let's begin to walk all the way up to your hands. We are folded forward briefly in Uttanasana. Go ahead and move from side to side. Allow gravity to do some of the work and stretching for you. If your weight is mostly in your heels, start to shift the weight into the balls of your feet. Lift your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Let's go ahead and come up halfway. Inhale and then exhale. Maybe release back down. Then bend the knees and let's come up a little by little, vertebra by vertebra, with the head being the last thing to come all the way up. So let's find ourselves in the center of our mat. You can face the front of the room, and we are going to inhale, then sweep up your arms up. You can have your hands in the Jana Mudra. That means you have a round circle between the index finger and the thumb. The rest of the fingers are outstretched. Inhale here and then exhale as you come down into a chair position. So we are holding this, and if it is hard on your shoulders, you can always come into that football goal post to 90-degree angle with your arms. Otherwise, hold it up here. Try to keep the floating ribs in. That means the bottom two ribs in, and then we are just holding for 10 seconds. Shift the weight back into your heels, and now as you come up, you are shifting your weight into the left foot. You are going to take the right foot all the way up as high as you can make it, and then begin to cross your ankle over your knee as you are bringing your hands to your heart and sit back down again. It's now, this is a standing pigeon pose. We were opening the hips. You should feel grounded into the earth as you seek your hips down, and you lift your torso up, and then inhale as you come back up, and then float your leg back down. We are going to do the same thing but on the other side. So inhale, bring your arms up, and then exhale as you come down into the Utkadasana or chair pose. Shift your weight into your heels. Keep your arms in line. with your ears. You press them back, lifting up through your fingertips. Let's go ahead and come all the way up. Shift your weight into the right foot and then extend the left leg up and then slowly come cross the ankle over the knee as you slowly sink down towards your mat. You are trying to breathe in and out through the nose. Then inhale, you are extending up and then exhale. You can float your arms and your feet back down to your mat. So now you have the option of taking a strap or a belt and you can loop it over your foot in order to take your leg back towards the front and then out to the side. If you feel like your balance is pretty good here, then you can also do without the strap, and also the flexibility that plays a part. So you can also use a strap. You can also, for balance, have a chair ready or use the wall. Another option is to grab your big toe, bring it up. So I am just going to loop the strap around my foot and then bring it up to the side. So you are coming into Trikonasana. Set the legs are about hip width apart. Here to shift your weight over to the left side and then loop the strap around my foot. Then grab it. You are going to extend the foot up, leaving room for your belly, and then gently take your leg out to the side. For balance, you can maybe bring your other hand up to your heart and then slowly bring it back to center and then gently release to float that leg all the way back down. And we are gonna go to the other side. So feet are in hip width apart. Shift your weight over to the right side. Go ahead and loop the left foot with the strap and extend your leg out to the front and then out to the side, and then gently bring that leg all the way back to center and then float it back down. And we are gonna start to walk to the back of your mats so that we can come forward for a tree pose. So we are going to step forward with your left foot. Feel rooted into all four corners of that foot, and you are slowly taking your right foot up. So you can keep on the inside of your chin or inside of your thigh. You just don't keep on the inside of your knee. So do whatever is comfortable for you. Then bring your hands to your heart and then focus on a drishti or a focal point, something that's not moving in front of you, that will help you to balance. Take nice deep breaths. You wanna press your right knee back and knee, pressing that right foot into the inside of your leg, that standing leg. This is tree pose. This is also known as Dhruvasana, which is named after the Dhruva, the famous Hindu sage. Let's go ahead and take the hands up and then lower to shoulder height. Then gently we are going to step all the way back behind our mats. Now we are going to move on the other side. So go ahead and set forward with that right foot. Take your left foot up wherever is comfortable. The inside of your leg in the lower, the upper portion closer to the groin. You pressing that left knee back, bringing your hands to your heart. Be careful not to lock your knees. Keep your knees soft. Press both inner leg and the feet put together to help you balance. Go ahead and take both hands up. Reach them up towards the ceiling and you can bring them back to shoulder height. Then gently step all over back. Now we are coming forward for one more standing pose, which is Garudasana. Let's go ahead and step forward with the left foot, and then we are wrapping the right leg all the way around. So we are planting your toes on your mat to make it easier to balance, and then squatting down. Bring your hips down towards the earth. Then take your left arm up. The right arm comes underneath. So the left arm is at a 90-degree angle. The right arm comes underneath, and then you are stretching the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Let's gently unwind, lift up, hands to shoulder height, and then we can float back down the behind of our mat. Let's go ahead and set forward with the other leg now. Now we are on our right leg, and then we are wrapping the left around the right. Take the right arm up at a 90-degree angle and take the other arm underneath. Wrap around as the palms are touching, and then reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Root down into the earth with your hips and lift up through the fingertips. This is Garudasana or Eagle pose. This is actually named after a Hindu sage named Garuda, who was supposed to have wings in the golden peak, which is why we call it Eagle pose. Let's slowly unwind. Bring your hands to shoulder height and gently step that all the way back. From here, we will come all the way down for Sharvasana. So let's go ahead and start at the top of our mats. We are gonna inhale, reach up, and then exhale, come all the way down for Uttanasana. Widen the feet, let yourself hang, and then inhale, come halfway, exhale, release down, go ahead and step out into downward facing dog. Inhale here, then exhale, one more inhale here, and then exhale. Place your knees on the ground and you can sit back on your heels for Uttana Marjariyasana. Go ahead and press your hands all the way back up to your hips. Bring your knees together and cross the ankles to sit down. So in previous prenatal yoga is that we have propped ourselves up on a bolster for Sharvasana. This time we are actually going to be laying on our side, and the reason for that is because when you are laying on your back, you are restricting the blood in the inferior vena cava, which is returning the blood to your heart, which means that you are getting a less circulation in your body, less circulation in your placenta into the baby, and for that reason it's okay to lay on your side, but it's better to lay on the left side than the right side because that's where the blood vessels are. That's all on the right side. So if you have a nice big pillow, you wanna use that, good to it. It's good to place between your knees to keep your hips in line with those knees. Otherwise, you put a little bit too much strain on your hips, and then you can lay down, either place maybe a block underneath your head, or you can have a pillow. Just pop it up on your elbow, and then from here you can close your eyes or soften your gaze. Maybe place one hand on your belly. You are gonna relax your feet, your legs, soften your knees. Feel the rise and fall of your belly and your chest. Relax your throat and your jaw. Pay attention to the sensations of your body and your breath, letting go of anything else that comes across your mind. As your mind starts to wander, all of your minds do, just bring it back to your breath and sensations you are experiencing. This is a place to pause the video, and if you want to take a longer Shavasana, and then when you are ready, you can begin to come all the way back up to a seated position. You can sit cross-legged. From here, you can cross your legs, bring your hands to your heart, close your eyes for one final Om. So deep inhale through the nose. Lower your head down to your heart, your hands down to your knees. Lift your head up and open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. You can do this video 2 to 3 times a week. Drop me below comments if you want me to touch any other body parts. I love to see your suggestions. If you want to stay connected with me, then press the bell icon. If you like this video, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I can't wait to see you next time. Bye bye.